this April to First Baptist Leeds. Small groups will meet in people's homes and in area restaurants for the purpose of spiritual growth. These groups will be called community groups because there'll be a great chance to get to know people, share your joys and your struggles, and just sit back and relax and have a good time together. I hope you'll join us this spring for community groups sponsored by First Baptist Leeds. Here are some of the details.
For the men in Leeds, consider being part of a great group who will meet weekly with Gary Linderman to discuss God's plan for restoration and freedom.
I have always loved old cars. There's just something about seeing a car that has been through a process of restoration and being put back to its original condition. And that is really a lot of what inspired the newest book that I've written called The Restored Man, which is a way for us as men to grow in our relationship with God and with others, whether in our marriages, our friendships. And so this lays out for you and for me a process to walk through to move through our brokenness into healing and growth. And so I invite you to join me in this restoration process.
The men will meet Tuesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Join a small group of ladies who will be studying the book of 1 Corinthians. Paul wrote the letter of 1 Corinthians to a divided and self-centered people to remind them to follow Jesus and only Jesus.
The church at the time wasn't dealing with their sin. They were worshiping other idols. They looked just like the world around them. We don't look out at a society that's broken, that's sinful, that's desolate of the gospel, and approach it with hate and fear. We approach it with the power of God, full of hope and full of love. If we sit here with our hands folded in fear at what's happening online or in the news or in our neighborhoods or in our families or in our churches, then we are going to be leaning on our own wisdom and what we see instead of trusting in the power of God. Paul says there's one thing that is going to be what my life is about, and that thing is to preach the gospel. It's not going to be in our effort, our power, our wisdom. It's going to only be the Spirit of God moving through us. He's not looking for the most qualified, the most polished, the most perfect, the most eloquent. He's looking for those who actually believe him. That's who he's going to use to change the world.
Losing a spouse is never easy. Sometimes it might be difficult to keep sight of who you really are and what you're living for. Led by Miss Peggy Howard, this powerful 6-session Bible study is designed to offer support and encouragement for widows in our area.
This study boils down to one simple truth. It's not about you. When we make God about us, we miss something essential about him and ourselves.
I did all of the things that we're called to do as Christians. It was never about who the Lord was. It was never about his glory or his goodness. It was about my glory.
God, I'm only going to love you if you give me a husband. Lord, I'm only going to love you if you give me a baby. Lord, I'm only going to love you if you give me this job. And those things were failing.
I obsessed over my image. It was exhausting, just an exhausting pursuit of perfection that was just too much.
The power of the gospel is not that it makes us feel good, but that it calls us into something bigger than ourselves. That larger vision is the thing our souls crave. And so I want to invite you into the journey of becoming free of me. Not for the sake of looking like a good, perfect Christian, but because God created you for much, much more.
Want a great kid? Want to be a great parent? This 6-session video-based study by Kevin Lehman is full of wit and common sense and is certain to offer practical help that really works.
Your kid is a somebody, and there's nobody else like him. And you have to believe in that kid.
Hi, everybody, this is it. We got a 5-day plan for you to turn your kid around. His attitude, his behavior, his character. Now that's a tall order.
All those things you told yourself you would never say to your kids that your parents said to you. Not only do you say them with the same tone and inflection your parents said to you.
I have 3 girls and then a son, and I'm constantly surprised by the boy all the time.
You know, if your kid's sporting an attitude, I'm telling you, you can turn that kid around in no time at all.
Too many times I fall into, how is my child's behavior reflecting on me? Oh my gosh, you know, what am I not doing? What are people going to think?
And we're going to talk about just what parenting style is the best for you and your child. So you got to find some ways of highlighting the qualities, the God-given qualities that this kid has that makes that kid who he is.
Have a New Kid by Friday, the video series. You will be encouraged. You will be empowered. You will be inspired. And you will be entertained.
Could I bring a salad? You know.
Everyone is invited to join this group weekly for dinner and discussion at Guadalajara Restaurant in Leeds.